In this episode of Sailing Dark Angel, we sail from Fort Lauderdale to Bimini. Our new mainsail doesn't survive the trip unscathed. I perform my first anchor check of the season. We sail to Gun Cay to wait out some wind before we finally head for the Exumas. Dave tries to fix the broken sail, and you can't stop at Gun Cay without visiting Honeymoon Beach. Or can you?
There's our brand new sail. The slider is missing from the front of this batten. It just broke off. It's sitting here. I'm hoping we can sew it back together, but it looks like there's a piece broken off.
What are we doing today, Captain Dave?
Well, we have successfully checked into Bimini. We've been here for a day or two and stocked up on some fuel and SIM cards. And now we are heading south to Gun Cay to tuck in for some heavy weather and then wait for our first opportunity to sail to New Providence and then back into the Exumas. And right now we're going right by the Sapona.
It's a little choppy right now for visiting the Sapona, so it really wouldn't be a good visit. There's people around it, but I don't see the draw when it's like this.
The tour boats will take you there whatever day you're scheduled to go.
Yeah, and then behind us on the other side, I see all the dark clouds, and it's gaining on us. But we have no engines, and we're actually sailing. Just the jib, because we're going to be fixing a couple of parts on our mainsail, and I don't want any more parts to fall off. So we're going to be fixing the mainsail before we put it up again, because I'm not losing any parts off this sail. What?
Looks all white cappy out there.
A little bit.
It's white cappy out there.
Well, it's 12.
There's South Bimini in the background.
Knots. And we're doing 4.8, 4.6. Just with the jib. Going by all these little dive spots. All these dive spots right here. Or here.
Tourist dive boats. Diving off the rocks.
It isn't the greatest day to dive.
That's fine underwater, I'm sure. Bimini is a great place to check in because it's a short sail to get there, and it's a great place to stock up on a few things that you might need before you head across. But there's really no good places to anchor, so unless you're going to go into the marinas, which are fairly choppy in and of themselves with lots of current, you're better off coming out and trying to find another anchorage, and that's what we're going to do.
Where are we going, Captain Dave?
We're going to Gun Cay. Well, the winds are coming tonight and we don't have a whole lot of protection. As you can see, that's in front of us. But we've got all kinds of protection from waves, which is really what we are more concerned about. Over here behind me is Honeymoon Harbor, Honeymoon Beach. And we're going to try and get over there if the weather clears up enough. But right now, it's just nice to be where there's nobody else.
So I would go swimming, but it's still choppy from all the high winds that we're experiencing right now. We're going to drop the dinghy and we're going to go over to that little beach right there. And that's where we're going to take our walk. That little spit of island. Look at that color. It's unreal. See the breakers off in the distance? You don't want to run your boat across that. So where are we going to today, Captain Dave?
Round and round. Honeymoon Beach.
Woo! Here we go. It's gonna get really choppy over here.
Yeah, it's very shallow.
And choppy. Oh, is that Honeymoon Beach over there? I see it. That's why. Ah! Oh no! No! Oh, you're crazy. We'll definitely have the beach to ourselves. You're gonna have to jump out really quick. Ah! Right up here. So, it's a little bit splashy on the boat itself. A little bit of water is getting in the transom, but because of all the wave action. But we can't come around this side because it's even worse with the waves. And Dave he's securing the dinghy so it doesn't get washed away.
We've talked before about picking your weather windows for excursions. This is not the correct weather window for this excursion. Now what are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do?
One ray. One. And the one that we almost stepped on coming in. Thankfully we did not. So, how'd our Honeymoon Beach excursion go?
Just keep drinking. Didn't go so well. The water's still extremely choppy. The water's still extremely choppy on the other side, and pulling up the dinghy was absolutely a disaster. Trying to miss the rocks and not step on the rays that were coming under my feet, as I'm trying to pull the dinghy to the shore and avoid, you know, the rocks so it doesn't damage the dinghy, and I'm trying not to step on the stingrays. Bit of a disaster. So what are you doing today, Captain Dave?
We're reconnecting the batten slider to the batten that it popped off of.
Okay.
So here's where it connects to the batten.
All right.
And there's the slider that popped off.
Okay.
Now in order to line it up, we're gonna have to raise the sail up a little bit. But you can see that this is what holds the pin in, is this right here.
Okay.
And that looks like a C-clip of some kind, but all I have is seizing wire, so we're gonna use seizing wire. Hopefully it holds. These ones are put in, they're screwed together on the sail.
Okay.
But the ones on the batten are seized through that pin. And you can see that they get bent, twisted out of shape by the looks of it. I'm not sure how.
Interesting.
Right? So we gotta get the sail up enough for me to get this lined up.
Okay.
See this one?
Oh yeah.
So I really don't trust this rig up at all. If I can find split rings the right size, I'll put split rings in it, because I don't trust this seizing wire to hold. Better than it was, but I don't like it.
So the first part didn't work the way we were hoping, so Dave has now got to drop the sliders down.
We're going to take the bottom 3 sliders out and reinstall this one with it out here where we can get at it, which is going to be fun because these sliders are sitting on this pin.
So you got to remove the pin?
Yeah.
More hardware for me to hold?
No, it's on a line.
Okay.
I just hope we put them in right side up. 1, 2.
There's a right side up?
Yep.
I did not know that.
3.
Here's the hardware. In my sweaty hands. And then the seizing wire, right?
Seizing wire and pliers, yeah. All the time and lets them fall out. This is it. There's a hole in the mast that it drives into.
Bit of a bitchy kitty, is it?
Yeah, it's kind of a pain. Okay.
In theory.
In theory, that's fixed. We should be able to sail.
Excellent. Is the sail prepared right now for sailing?
It's ready to go.
Okay, excellent. All right.
So, I guess we're ready to go. Hey Lisa, are you ready to go?
I'm ready to go.